Have you ever walked into the gym unsure of how many reps you should be doing? Whether you're aiming to get stronger, build muscle, or improve endurance, it can be confusing to figure out what rep range is right for you. In today's video, I'm going to break down the benefits of each rep range, what you should focus on when working out, and how to adjust your training depending on your goals. Whether you're looking to bulk up, get lean, or increase endurance, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to train effectively and efficiently. Traditionally, we were told that lifting heavy weights with low reps was for building strength. Moderate weights with medium reps were for muscle growth, and lighter weights with high reps were for endurance or toning. But new research has shown that muscle growth can happen across various rep ranges, as long as you're pushing close to failure. The tricky part is applying this knowledge in the real world, because when you're at the gym, your goals, fitness level, and even your personal preferences can impact what works best for you. Today, I'll guide you through the pros and cons of different rep ranges and how you can tailor them to your own workouts. Let's kick things off with the 1 rep max. Is it useful? Absolutely, but it's not something you should be doing regularly. A 1 rep max is great if you're a powerlifter or testing your absolute strength for a competition. It's the fastest way to measure your pure power, but it's also risky. Lifting your maximum weight for a single rep puts a huge amount of strain on your body and drastically increases the risk of injury. If you're not prepping for a competition, it's better to save 1 rep max attempts for occasional testing, not your daily workout routine. For most people, focusing on higher rep ranges is a more effective and safer approach. Constantly chasing that 1 rep max often leads to ego lifting, where you're more concerned with lifting as much weight as possible instead of making progress. In reality, lifting lighter weights for more reps is a smarter way to build muscle consistently. Stick to testing your 1 rep max on rare occasions and focus more on higher rep training for long-term results. Now, let's talk about the 2 to 5 rep range. This is ideal for building strength. This rep range is especially useful for powerlifters who want to build power without maxing out every set. You've probably heard of the classic 5 sets of 5 program. This falls right into that 2 to 5 rep range. It's fantastic for gaining strength, but the downside is you're still lifting heavy, and that comes with its own risks. Training in this range still puts stress on your joints and can easily lead to injuries if you're not careful. While the 2 to 5 rep range is excellent for strength building, it doesn't give you the same muscle building benefits as higher rep ranges. And like with 1 rep max training, it's easy to fall into the trap of ego lifting. If your goal is purely strength, this is a great range to work in. But if you're after muscle size, you'll want to incorporate higher rep sets into your training too. One thing that's often overlooked is how much easier it is to push yourself to failure with fewer reps. Think about it. Doing a set of 5 heavy reps feels a lot more manageable than trying to push through 20 reps. The mental challenge of high rep sets is huge. It takes serious motivation and willpower to push yourself past that point of fatigue and reach failure when you're aiming for higher numbers. So, if you struggle with pushing yourself in the gym, lower rep ranges might help you get to failure more consistently. That brings us to the 6 to 10 rep range, which is a great middle ground. If you want to build both strength and muscle size, this range offers the best of both worlds. The weight is still heavy enough to increase strength, but the reps are high enough to provide sufficient time under tension, which is essential for muscle growth. This rep range also lowers your risk of injury compared to heavier, lower rep sets, while still allowing you to train hard. Training in the 6 to 10 rep range is perfect for people who want to get stronger and build muscle simultaneously. It's also easier to reach failure because the reps are more manageable. You might start with a set of 8, and when you're close to failure, you can push for a couple more reps, or even throw in techniques like drop sets to really fatigue the muscle. Beginners, though, might want to avoid this range until they've got their form locked down. Heavy weights can easily cause sloppy technique, especially if you're new to lifting. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips and tricks to help you reach your fitness goals. The 10 to 15 rep range is what I'd consider the sweet spot for most people. Whether you're just starting out or have been training for years, this range is ideal for balancing muscle growth and safety. For beginners, it's light enough to focus on mastering your form without risking injury. And for more advanced lifters, it's still heavy enough to challenge your muscles and induce fatigue. If you're able to hit 15 reps easily, you can always increase the weight to make sure you're pushing yourself hard enough. One of the great things about this rep range is that you're less likely to get caught up in ego lifting. At this point, the focus is more on the quality of your reps than on how much weight you're moving. This range also gives you plenty of time under tension, which is key for hypertrophy or muscle growth. The 10 to 15 rep range is especially useful for compound lifts like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses, because it allows you to use heavier weights while still getting the benefit of longer sets. Now, moving on to the higher rep ranges, 15 to 25 reps. At first glance, this might seem like too many reps, but there's actually a lot of benefit in training here, especially for muscle growth. The longer time under tension helps stimulate muscle fibers, and you'll likely notice that you get a much better pump during your workout. A good pump doesn't just look cool, it also drives more blood and nutrients to the muscles, which helps with growth and recovery. However, the downside of higher rep ranges is that it becomes harder to push yourself to true failure. Doing a set of 20 reps, especially on compound exercises like squats, can be physically and mentally exhausting. So, while this range is fantastic for hypertrophy, you need to be really motivated and disciplined to make the most of it. The 25 to 50 rep range might sound extreme, but it does have its place, particularly when you're recovering from an injury or when you're focusing on endurance. Lifting lighter weights for high reps can give your muscles a good workout without stressing your joints. This range is perfect for getting a pump, stimulating your muscles, and helping with recovery. However, if you're looking to build serious strength or muscle size, you won't find much benefit in sticking to this range for your entire workout. Instead, use it as a finisher. After you've done your heavier work, throw in a high rep set to really fatigue the muscle. Lastly, we have the 50+ rep range. What's this good for? Honestly, not a whole lot when it comes to strength or muscle size. It's more about muscular endurance and cardiovascular training. If you're an endurance athlete like a cyclist or runner, you might think doing high rep sets in the gym will translate into better endurance during your sport. But the truth is, you're better off building strength in the gym and doing your endurance training in your sport-specific activities. Instead of cranking out 50 reps of leg presses, hit the bike or the track for endurance work. The gym should be where you focus on getting stronger and more powerful, even if your main sport is endurance-based. A cyclist, for example, will perform better if they have stronger legs to power them up hills or through sprints. So, even if endurance is your primary goal, lifting in the 6 to 15 rep range will still give you better results than doing 50 rep sets in the gym. So there you have it, a complete breakdown of rep ranges, from 1 rep maxes all the way to sets of 50 reps and beyond. Each range has its own pros and cons, but it all comes down to your specific goals. If you're looking to build strength, stick with lower reps. For muscle size, aim for moderate reps. And for endurance or injury recovery, higher rep ranges are your best bet. Now that you know the benefits of each rep range, it's time to take this knowledge into the gym and apply it to your own workouts. Don't be afraid to mix things up and always focus on training smart. Before you go, make sure to like and subscribe for more tips on how to get the most out of your gym sessions. And don't forget to click on the videos on the left and right to keep learning and making gains. See you next time.